If you were to list the names of men who loved women excessively, Pa James' name had to be mentioned, not once, not twice, but at least 5 times. If you called 50 names, Pa James' name had to appear 5 times in that list. He was not just a man who loved women. He had a weakness for little girls, widows, and people's wives. People often whisper behind his back, wondering if he was cursed. Wherever he went, you will find him talking to one woman or the other. Some villagers blamed him for the tragic death of his wife, Chioma. She had been his first and only wife for 28 years until she met her untimely death. On that fateful day, a strange number had called her, informing her that her husband was at a hotel 5 streets away with a widow. Enraged and heartbroken, Chioma had jumped into her car and driven off at a high speed. Unfortunately, she never made it to the hotel. She had a fatal accident and died on the spot, leaving behind her 5 sons. Many believed that her death would change Pa James, that he would finally abandon his reckless ways and become a responsible man. But they were all wrong. Though he refused to remarry in honor of Chioma's memory, but there was never a night he spent on his bed alone. Even during Chioma's burial, he couldn't even control himself. His eyes roamed, searching for women he would chase after. One day, his elder son, Peter, called him aside. "Father, we have seen and heard of your shameful acts. It is no longer news that you go after women all over the town. We are ashamed. Women refuse to date nor marry us because they fear we will be like you. We cannot continue like this, so we have decided to relocate to the city. But before we leave, I have one piece of advice for you. Why not pick a woman and settle down? Be careful, father. STDs are real. Be careful, oh." With that, Peter and his 4 brothers packed their things and left for the city. Pa James was overjoyed. Finally, he had the freedom he longed craved for. With no children to scold him, he invited different women to his house, showering them with gifts and ensuring they satisfied his every desire. Then came the day he attended a wedding in another town. That was where he met Chioma, a young woman of extraordinary beauty, though she was born deaf and dumb. Her beauty was so striking that people often lamented, "Oh, what a waste! How can such a beautiful girl have such a challenge?" As Pa James sighted Chioma, he couldn't resist her beauty. Overcome with desire for her body, he lured Chioma into a nearby bush, promising her love and money. There, he took advantage of her trust and laid with her. He promised to return to see her often with more gifts and money, but he never did. Chioma soon discovered she was expecting a child, but couldn't say who impregnated her. Every day, she would go and stand by the same bush she and Pa James had fun, waiting for Pa James. She would wait and wait in vain. Chioma's family was so disappointed in her. They and other villagers rained insults on her, calling her all sorts of names, such as, "Oh, you are deaf and dumb, but know how to sleep around with men, to the extent that you don't even know who got you pregnant." Chioma would cry and cry, unable to explain what had happened. She could only cry and endure the shame as villagers mocked her. One evening, heartbroken and abandoned, Chioma wandered into the bush where she had last seen Pa James. There, she called upon the gods, invoking justice against him. Then, in her pain and sorrow, she hung herself over a tree and died, leaving behind only a curse. Life went on for Pa James, who had long forgotten about Chioma. He didn't even remember he had something to do with a deaf and dumb girl in the bush. But soon, strange things began happening. He found himself plagued by uncontrollable attraction to things beyond his understanding. Pa James uncontrollably started sleeping with anything called female, be it a dog, cat, hen, and even little children. As soon as he is done, he would immediately fall into deep regret, yet he could not stop himself. He feared to go out each day in order not to fall into such temptation, but at the end, he would lay with his dog in the compound. No matter how hard he tried, he could not resist the urge. Ashamed and desperate, he decided to visit a powerful herbalist in the next town for a solution. On his way, he saw a little blind beggar by the roadside. Dear viewers, please, before we continue this story, if you are enjoying this story, don't forget to like, drop a comment and share. If you are not yet a subscriber, do well to subscribe to our YouTube channel to support us, for it will help us get YouTube recommendations to other viewers. Thank you so much and God bless. Without thinking twice, Pa James stopped, picked up the blind beggar and drove into a nearby bush. As he was leading her into the deep forest, a hunter spotted them. "Hey you! Where are you taking that girl?" the hunter demanded. Pa James trembled and started shaking uncontrollably. He could not speak. The hunter grew suspicious and raised an alarm. Soon, villagers gathered and descended on Pa James, beating him up, accusing him of being a kidnapper and a ritualist. He would have been harmed if not for the intervention of the village king, who happened to be his childhood friend and classmate. Bruised and humiliated, Pa James returned home, only to find his second son, Kobe, waiting for him with a little girl. "Good afternoon, father," Kobe greeted. "What happened to you?" Pa James lied. "I was attacked by armed robbers, oh. They almost killed me. Please help me thank God, oh. I was able to escape." That night, Kobe explained his visit. "Father, I came with my daughter, Angel. She is born by my girlfriend I plan to marry soon. She insisted on meeting her grandfather and spending time with you." Pa James was so happy to see Angel that day. For the very first time in his life, he had a granddaughter and finally a female in his family. He showered Angel with so much love, telling her bedtime stories every night. The two were very close, and Angel loved to always be around him. Kobe, trusting his father, often left them alone while he attended to other of his business. One evening, as Angel ran into Pa James' room for her usual bedtime story, he immediately locked the door behind her. At first, Angel didn't understand what was about to happen. "Grandpa, why are you locking the door so fast?" Angel asked. "Because I want to teach you something," Pa James responded coldly. Then he suddenly froze. A cold wind blew across the room, and in that moment he couldn't understand himself anymore. "Oh, Angel, you look like your name. Come and give me a hug," he said. With that, he forced himself into her. Angel cried, shouted, screamed, but nobody to help. After Pa James was done, he realized he has committed an abominable act. "What have I done?" he screamed. "Who did this to me?" There and then, he saw Chioma's ghost standing before him. "It is I," Chioma said. "You deceived many women. thinking you would never face the consequences. But justice cannot be avoided. The harm you have done has come full circle. I cursed you. Not every woman you should toy with. You destroy people's daughters, sisters, mothers. You lure them with your money, forgetting you will one day have a female in your generation. Now, it is time for you to suffer the consequences of your actions. You will continue to sleep with your own female generations until you passed away. Until you passed away. Until you passed away. Pa James screamed in horror as Chioma's ghost vanished. Overwhelmed with guilt and unable to bear the shame, he ran to his window, jumped from the story building, and died instantly. When Kobe returned, he met his daughter sitting and stained with her own blood and was crying bitterly. "Daddy, how could you do this to your own blood?" Kobe said. He rushed to the kitchen to pick up a knife. With the knife, he searched for Pa James everywhere around the house, and eventually, he found his father's lifeless body in the backyard. Kobe took his daughter to the hospital and signaled his brothers what happened. Few weeks later, Pa James was given a quiet, cold burial. After the burial, that night, Nyoma's ghost visited her sons in their dreams. "Your father shortened my life on earth because of his lust for women. In the end, his actions lead to his downfall. A woman finally killed him. What he sowed, he has reaped. Let this be a lesson. Don't ever behave like your father. Stay true to only one woman. Build a good family with her, and you will all be blessed. There is no gain in adultery and extramarital affairs. It only leads to destruction. My spirit is always with you all." Nyoma advised and disappeared. When they woke up, the brothers vowed never to follow in their father's footsteps, but stick to their late mother's advice. And so, the story of Pa James ended in disgrace, a reminder that the sin of a man will always catch up with him in the end. This story teaches a powerful lesson about the dangers of extramarital affairs in marriage. Infidelity not only destroys trust and brings shame, but can also lead to irreversible consequences, including broken families, emotional sufferings, and even tragedy. A man who fails to honor his marriage vows risks losing everything: his spouse, his children's respect, and his dignity. True happiness and fulfillment come from faithfulness, love, and commitment to one's family. In the end, adultery only leads to regret and downfall. Lest I forget, family reputation matters a lot. Our actions can affect not just us, but also our loved ones. Respect for others, especially women, is essential for a meaningful and honorable life. My name is Kachi. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching. I hope you have learned more than 1 or 2 lessons from this story. See you in my next video. Bye for now, and God bless you. I love you all. Bye.